This is possibly the fastest way to hit your driver straighter. Get you hitting more fairways. More importantly, get you hitting the middle of the face more. That's what this video is about. If we can control where we strike the driver face, that alone is going to get you increased ball speed, so you're going to get the most bang for the buck. However fast your swing is, you're going to get the maximum speed out of it. And then also your dispersion, how wide your shots are, is going to become much, much, much tighter. So if we have a look down here, we have got 2 sticks here for the ball to target line. So one of the most important factors of hitting the middle of the face is being able to control where that club head is in space as it comes into the ball. So generally, if we've got excessive movement of the club head out the way, so to the right, that might be from a swing that looks like this, you could possibly hit off the heel of the golf club. Also, if you're excessively pulling the club head in towards you, and again, that could look like an over the top swing and pulling the club head in. That could look like something where you sort of stand up and hit out the toe. We are going to try and control that club head as it comes into the ball. And this is a fantastic drill to do that. So essentially what we're going to do is, if we think of the time on the clock, so this is 12 o'clock. 12 o'clock is the target. 6 o'clock is back towards you guys. And what I want us to generally think about is just place these 2 sticks down and start to work depending on your shot shape that you want to hit. We want to start with exactly what you want your club head to do depending on your shot shape. So if you're someone who wants to hit a draw, start right, curve left, we need the club head, and this is also important for strike. If this is 6 o'clock, we need the club head to travel from 7 or 8, and it should travel out to 1 or 2 o'clock. And the good thing about this is we start to work on that feel and start to work on that time, 7 to 1. We're also incorporating what the club head does. We're not throwing it excessively out, we're not pulling it excessively in. 2 things that would really cause strike issues on the face, but also this matches what shot shape you want to try and hit. If you're someone who wants to try and hit a fade, your club head should travel from about 4 or 5, and it should swing through to about 11 or half past 10. Obviously with the draw, we need the face slightly closed to that. With the fade, we need the face slightly open to that, so we can start creating that left to right. And what's really good about this drill is this gives you an awareness of where that club head is at. And I think that's really, really important. If we can start to practice like this, so let's say we're going to try and hit a fade just now, I'm very clear that I'm going to try and swing from 5 o'clock to 11 o'clock. So I know exactly what the club head wants to do, and I know I need the face slightly open. So I'm going to set it slightly open at the start and just worry about the swing direction. That's then going to get me pointing a little bit more to the left, swinging a little bit more left, and that generally starts to get that shot shape. If we want to try and hit a draw, obviously we're doing the opposite. I would start thinking about approaching from 7, swinging out to 1, closing the face. So if I'm going to try and close the face, I would try and rotate the wrists and forearms a little bit more, starting to close that face. I would close the upper body a little bit more and start to swing from that angle there. Didn't close the face enough, but that would be the general shape or swing direction. So draw would be more this way, more out and right on the fall through, and fade would be more down and left. The good thing about thinking about these times, they're not extreme examples. Extreme examples are going to get that club head moving out and in far too much. This drill is excellent. Obviously, if you want to try and hit a draw, this is a great visual that you can practice time and time again for where you want your club head to be. If you want to hit a little fade, likewise. If you find that you're hitting all over the club face and you can't hit the middle, again, absolutely fantastic drill that you can do. Definitely put this down the next time you practice. I think this is a really, really good thing. Every time in lessons I regularly do this. This is the most common one. I see a lot of golfers who swing down, maybe don't have full awareness of where that club head is at, and they're coming down into the golf ball, and the head gets thrown in front of the target line, and they actually bring the club head down, especially with driver, really common one with driver, is they actually bring the heel back into contact with the ball. Then when you get them to start hitting some shots, you can start to see that their strike pattern is a little bit more towards the heel. So the fact that they do it in the practice swing means as soon as you add some speed, they're definitely going to do it in the full swing. So even just by starting to do that exercise, you can do it with this time on the clock. You can grab a bottle, you can try and get the sweet spot onto the cap, so you can do this at home and just try and get the center of the face back onto the bottle cap and start to be aware of what your club head is doing. You might find that you're traveling too much this way and throwing the club out too much. If you're going to align that sweet spot back to the bottle cap, you're going to bring it down, keep it in closer to you, and then you can start to present the sweet spot more and more often. So these two drills are excellent to try and hit the middle of the face. Obviously when you hit balls, one of the great things you could do, you could get some strike spray, you could get some face tape, start to get some feedback on where you're hitting the face. Most drivers are going to show you roughly where you strike on the face, so you would have a decent idea of where you've hit. So let that be your next practice session. Put these two sticks down, or you can put clubs if you put them far away. I would prefer sticks. You can put anything, two sort of objects that are coming down that target line, and start to build in awareness of the head and awareness of the path, depending on the shot shape you want to try and hit. So back, down, I'm going for draw here, coming from the inside, sweet spot, face slightly closed. And then there's a little draw. And that's definitely something that you can do if you're looking to try and hit a draw, or if you're looking to try and neutralise what shot shape you have. This is a really, really good exercise. If you find that you are someone who comes wildly from over the top and you swing from 4 o'clock and you swing across to 2 o'clock, then you might want to calm that down a little bit, and you also might want to close the face and not leave it quite so open. That would start to straighten things out. So I absolutely love this. So let's think of the time. 12 o'clock, 6 o'clock. Draw is going to be from 7 or 8 o'clock, swinging into the ball, face slightly closed, and the club head is going to swing out to 1 or 2 o'clock. If we're going to hit a fade, we are going to swing from 4 or 5, the face very slightly open, and we are going to swing through to about 10:30 or 11 o'clock. And this here is really important to understand why you hit the shot you hit. And obviously all feeds back to target. This is where we're trying to finish the ball. We don't necessarily have to hit it super straight, but if we can understand this and control face and path, you will hit a lot of fairways and you're going to hit the ball straight, or a lot more often. So there you have it. I bet you didn't think the time would be really helpful for improving your drives, but it's honestly something that's so simple to make you aware of the club head, to help you strike the middle of the sweet spot much more often with a nice little drill you can do at home, but also help you match up your swing to the shot shape that you want to see. And that's really important. When we look on the PGA Tour, there's so many golfers that have a shape. It's actually very hard to hit a straight shot. You're going to have absolutely perfect club face awareness. It's going to have to be really good time and time again. It's much easier to try and have a soft shape on the ball and have one sort of preference. And you'll see that on the PGA Tour. There's lots of guys who fade the ball. So if we think Dustin Johnson, Brooks Koepka, these guys fade the ball time and time again. And you'll see that. So the next time you watch the golf, watch how often they just hit the same shot shape. They very rarely try and hit draw, hit fade, hit draw, hit fade. They actually stick to one shot shape time and time again. And I think for amateur golfers, that is one of the most important things to do. So find out the shot shape you want to try and hit, match the time on the clock to the shot that you want to hit, and then the other part you need to do is just match that club face to that shot shape. So that should give you a good explanation. If you have any questions on how to hit draw, how to hit fade, anything that's not been in this video, just pop some comments down below. I will answer all those questions for you. Make it super simple. If you're someone who wants to hit a draw, pop the comments down I'll make sure everything's answered and help guide you towards hitting that shot that you want to see. If you'd like any personal help, obviously what you can do, you can check the link down in the description below. You'll see that you can get a lesson with me via the Skillist app, where you can send some swings, we can have a look at your swing and start to make some adjustments to help you hit the shot shape that you want to see time and time again. So get yourself to the range, practice this drill out and start hitting that driver a lot straighter.